Hi guys, welcome back. If you're fighting discrimination at work, then what I have to say today could make or break your case. And I know I say that a lot, but that's because there's so much that we have to do right. And today is just another one of those things. Now, we've talked about this before, but a comment that I got this week convinced me that this subject is worth discussing on its own. Because how we handle this one thing can keep us from getting reasonably accommodated, and it can tank our claims for failure to accommodate, retaliation, harassment, and hostile work environment. First, I want to give you a quick look at the comment that I got this week. It's from a sub who's out on FMLA, and her employer told her they needed her to come into the office to discuss her situation. And she told them no. Now, I get it. The whole point of sick leave is to recuperate. And it can be a real hardship to have to drag ourselves into the office for an on-demand meeting like this, especially when it's about a situation that's so touchy and that could affect so much. I mean, the stakes are really high. So to me, saying no to a request like this makes perfect logical sense. But unfortunately, EEOC and the courts may not see it exactly that way. How we handle our employer's demands to meet and discuss our case can have a huge impact on the end result. And I'm not just talking about being polite and professional. I'm talking about the things we say when we're pushing back against our employer's unreasonable demands or trying to set boundaries. The way we communicate those boundaries can make the difference between having a strong, credible claim that stands on its own or having one that falls apart once our case gets in front of EEOC or a judge. And that's because the law requires both us and our employer to act in good faith toward each other. That means we have to be able to communicate to try to resolve our differences outside court. And the kicker is that even when our employer isn't acting in good faith, we still have to. I mean, when they're making unreasonable demands for us to meet with them, we have to at least be open to hearing them out. Whenever we turn down one of their requests to communicate about our case, then we're handing them an opportunity to spin our refusal as a lack of good faith. We tried to talk to her about it, but she said no. What could we do? And believe it or not, that alone can be enough for them to beat us. So instead of just flatly saying no, we want to explain why, top level, and we want to offer them some alternatives. And here's what that can look like in practice. It can be really simple. With a failure to accommodate claim. My health makes it very difficult for me to come into the office right now, but I'm happy to continue the interactive process by phone or email. Or with a retaliation claim. I really want to resolve this with you, but I'm concerned that a face-to-face meeting could lead to further misunderstandings, so I'd prefer to communicate in writing. That way, I have time to make sure that I fully understand your position, and I can make sure that my position is as clear as possible. And for a hostile work environment or harassment claim. Given what's happened between us, I'm not comfortable meeting face-to-face about this, but I'm happy to discuss it in writing or in person with a neutral third party who can facilitate and document what happened. Handling it this way gives us a chance to move the discussion into a space that's more comfortable for us. And it makes it a lot easier for us to document what happened during that conversation. I mean, we can record a phone call or save an email. And best of all, it leaves our employer with two choices, both of which benefit us. They can either agree to our terms, or they can say no, and hand us an opportunity to show their lack of good faith. And in the end, that's how a lot of these cases get decided. Who had good faith and who didn't. Who kept the lines of communication open, and who tried to shut them down. We don't have to do everything our employer asks us to do in exactly the way they ask us to do it, but we do have to show good faith. And it is possible to do that in ways that protect us and our boundaries and still keep the lines of communication open. So don't be afraid to say no. Just do it the right way. I'll see you guys next time. Till then, take care.